Fitzy and Whipper.
And Keith Urban joins us on the line.
Keithy.
Keith.
got a career ahead of me. Thanks, mate.
Mate, you've got a real future. We believe in you. You've just picked up the axe and it seems to be going quite well for you. Keith, where are you at the moment, mate?
Working my other gig at McDonald's because I've got to have something to fall back on. I'm at home in Nashville right now.
Oh, fantastic.
Keith, is there a certain place, like, is it out the backyard? Is it down a beach that you can, is there a
In
certain
Nashville?
No, is there a certain place in the world that you like to go that you get into the zone when it comes to songwriting? Anywhere special?
No, not specific place. No, I mean we've written songs in Sydney, we've written them in London, here in Nashville, everywhere. Yeah, Nightfalls was written out in Los Angeles about this time last year.
How quick can you give us an example? I know the songwriting fascinates me.
Me
Keith.
too.
And you hear stories of the Beatles writing songs in less than a few hours. But is there a moment that you can remember being in a tour bus or something like that where something's just come to you so quickly and you've written a song so quickly?
Yeah, The Fighter was like that.
Great
The song that we did with Carrie Underwood. The guy I wrote it with, called Busby, we were over in London at the time, and we were working on a song. We spent like a whole day on this song, and then I showed up the next morning, and I had this idea for a chorus and the chords and the whole thing, and we wrote that song in an hour or so.
Brilliant.
And then we pushed that aside and went back to our other song.
Is that right?
Really?
We weren't thinking that The Fighter was this thing that it became. So you never know.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Keith, you know what I loved on The Voice this year? There was a lot of emotional stories about, the power of music and a lot of families that were up there representing loved ones and, these sorts of great stories. But there was a moment where you were talking about you never understand or really grasp the reach of what your music does or where it goes to. Have you got an example in your life where someone stopped you on the street and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know, Keith, this is what this song did for me," or how it played a part in my life?
Oh, so many. Yeah.
And that would be the greatest gift, wouldn't it?
It's extraordinary, and it's really the thing I think that it really matters the most. Like you write a song, you record it, you put it out. And whatever the song might mean to me, it may mean something completely different to somebody else. And it goes out and does what it's going to do, and it's constantly out there. It's really extraordinary.
Oh, it is. Hey, the Speed of Now World Tour, we're looking forward to it, Keith. It's at the end of the year, Monday 5th and Tuesday the 6th of December at Kudos Bank Arena. But I also do see on your tour this year, you're going out to Deniliquin, where the Ute Muster is. Can you
knew you were going to fuddle that.
I know, on the way. But I just want to know what that means to you and why it's on the tour for you, Keith.
You can see why everyone just says Denny.
Denny.
Keep it simple, mate.
Well, they suggested that it was a way that we could play that's not part of the Ute Master, separate to that, and just have the venue be a concert venue. So I think they're going to, if they haven't already started, they're going to start doing lots of shows out at that same facility separate to the Ute Master.
Oh, great. Do you know what I saw yesterday, Keith? A fashion item, which they've said has taken off in the States. And it's a pair of, if you could picture a pair of cowboy boots, right, that traditionally come up just under the knee, but then the foot has been cut out. So the leather that's left is just like a thong. So it still goes between your toe and then hooks back up to the boot around the ankle.
Very Australian.
Very Australian, but said the States are loving this. Now, I call BS on that. Have you seen anybody in Nashville wearing that?
I haven't even, no. I can't even picture that.
All right, let's get him a pair, Tommy, for when he gets to Deniliquin. Keith's new style of boot in Denny. Ready for Denny.
Okay.
Snakeskin thongs.
All right.
So that's
Catching
it.
on everywhere.
That's
That will
hot.
take off.
That's hot.
Hey, this is a bit, because the Sunday night, it must be tough for you. You got to pick between two artists on your team. Who are you going to take to the grand final? I mean, Keith, that letting somebody down like that must be the toughest thing being on the show.
It is. It is because, you've got a couple of people that I think are totally worthy of knocking it out of the park, but in the end, you just got to make a decision.
When you got your first recording contract, Keith, were you knocked back a few times before that?
Yeah. Oh, I just wasn't ready, and particularly when I got to America, that was just crickets for years. I'd like to say that I couldn't get arrested, but that's one thing I absolutely could do.
Got your name in the headlines there.
Oh, well, Keith, we're loving the new single, Nightfalls, and obviously The Voice is a big one. We got the grand final this weekend as well. It's available everywhere to stream and download. We know how busy you are, buddy. We appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Always, mate. Thanks, Fitzy. Thanks, Whipper.
Fitzy and Whipper.